How's it going, everybody? Coming to you today because we're going to be doing first shots, first thoughts with this Taurus 942M Magnum UL Ultralight. Now this is a 22 Magnum. It is a 8-shot, and it is the ultralight offering from Taurus. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down, bring you to the tailgate. We'll have a close-up look at the gun. We'll do some shooting, give you my thoughts, kind of my philosophy of use for it, and all of that. So if you're interested in finding out about the 942 MUL, stick around, because here we go. Okay, so pardon the rain. It is kind of rainy out here today, but you can see here, this is the ultralight 942 MUL. It is a 22 Magnum. It is a 8-shot revolver. It is double action, single action. It has an adjustable rear sight right there, and I have painted the front sight to make it a little bit easier for me to see. It does not come with that. There is an Ameriglow sight that you can install if you like. You just drift out this pin and install it. It is a high-vis night sight. I think it's about 40 bucks, so not a bad price if you want to upgrade that. But here is a close-up look at the gun. The fit and finish isn't bad. The rain's really making it kind of hard to see, but fit and finish isn't bad. It does have a heavy trigger, which all of these rimfires do. But all in all, I was really impressed with this at the $330 mark, which is what I had to pay for it. Now, one thing to talk about is this is Taurus ultralight, not to be confused with something like a Smith & Wesson Airweight. You know, one of their ultralights in the Smith & Wesson. This one is my M&P 340, and it is chambered in 357 Magnum. And this thing fully loaded with 5 of the V-Crown 125 grains, hollow points. And this loaded with 8 shots of Hornady FTX 45 grain. This one is an ounce lighter, and I do have aftermarket Pat Meyer grips on it. This one comes in at about 16.6 ounces, fully loaded. This one comes in at about 17 and a half. We'll call it 17 and a half to 18 ounces, depending on your ammo, which doesn't really compare ultralight to the Smith & Wesson, but it does compare the ultralight to other Tauruses. This exact same gun in a non-ultralight version will weigh in the neighborhood of 23 ounces. So you're saving about 6 ounces over the standard 942M. But if you compare this to the Smith & Wesson 351C or the 351 PD, this gun is going to weigh about 6 ounces more. So you're looking at a 22 Magnum. It has a 8-shot capacity. It is double single, adjustable rear sights, roughly 17 and a half ounces loaded. All in all, not too bad for right at a $330 gun. You do have rubber grips that fit the hand well. You get 2 fingers, and then that little cutout does kind of help grab your pinky. So that is the up close look at it. Let's do some shooting. We're going to be shooting the CCI Maxi Mag 40 grain varmint. This is their hollow point 22 Magnum in a 8-shot Taurus 942 MUL. So without further ado, let's shoot. This first shot here is approximately 3 yards. Just going to see if I'm even on paper or how close this rear adjustable sight is from the factory. I'll go ahead and do double action and just kind of see what this pull is like. The double action is very long and really heavy. I would guess and say 12 to 14 pounds. I don't have a gauge, just going off of past experience. Somewhere probably closer to 14 than to 12. I hit a little bit high and a little bit to the left of bullseye. I'm going to do a single action shot this time and see if I hit close to or that same bullet hole. It's dead on, but I'm hitting a little bit high. So let's back it up and see how far back we have to get before it drops down into the bullseye. Okay, so the first two shots were at roughly 3 yards. I'm approximately 5 yards now. We're gonna do a double action pull and then a single action pull. That double action, I kept waiting for it to break, waiting for it to break, waiting for it to break, and I kept pulling and pulling and pulling. I honestly thought there for a second that something was wrong with the gun before it went off. It's an extremely heavy trigger. Now we're gonna go to the single action. Okay, so for the first 4 shots, this is what I've got. That was my first double action, first single action, second double action, second single action, and that single action looks like it's tumbling. It looks like we are getting some destabilization in this short of a barrel, because that definitely hit sideways. That is too big of a hole. That is too big of a hole for a standard 22 mag. So we're going to back it up to 7 yards this time, and we'll fire 2 more shots. It's getting to the distance where it's hard to get me and the target in at the same time. We're, like I said, somewhere between 7 and 10 yards, closer to 7. Going to do a double action and then a single action again. And now single action. Let's see what we got. Okay, we are still hitting high because this was 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now I've got 5 and 6. So definitely hits high. Let's go back to that distance because I'm trying to do a full bead and then a full bead even straight across the bullseye. This might be something that requires less than a full bead, or maybe a different ammo would work better for it. We will just have to see. Again, back here at about 7 yards, I'm going to try a slightly different sight hold and see how that works. Okay, so using a very empty bead, almost no front side at all. That was my double action, and my single action I yanked up there. So at about 3 yards, you're pretty close with a full sight picture. As you get further back, your sights get higher, your bullet impacts get higher. I went with a very minimal bead, and here I'll just go ahead and show you. Take this out of the way maybe. Let's see. A very full bead, such as that right there, hits high. I went with a very low bead, and I shot a little low. I've got some Hornady FTXs. Let's see how those shoot in this little guy, and see what kind of impact we get with it. We'll use a full bead and an empty bead on it as well. I'll mark these real quick with the magic marker, and we'll come back with some Hornady FTXs. Okay, so we're going to do kind of the same thing as before. We're going to start up close. I've got some Hornady critical defense. These are the 45 grain FTX. Going to be trying these. They say out of a 1 7/8 inch barrel, which is real close to this, ought to be about 1,000 feet per second. I've got a fresh target up. I couldn't find my magic marker, so we got a fresh target. We'll do the same thing, a double action, single action, look at the accuracy, and then move back. So far, either I'm having a really off day as a shooter, or this little guy's not as accurate as I would hope. Part of it is a new gun. Part of it is, you know, kind of the rudimentary sights. Part of it might be it's just not that accurate. So we're going to try these 45 grain FTXs and see what kind of accuracy we get. So here we go. And for those who just want to know, this is what the FTX looks like. Copper jacket with a little rubber plug. First shot, double action. Second shot, single action. Look at accuracy and move. Bullseye, but it looks like it might have tumbled. Single action. That one was a little bit high. And they both are tumbling out of this gun. It is obvious that that is hitting sideways. So at 3 yards, even with this Hornady critical defense, they are tumbling, which is really going to make accuracy super hard to achieve unless you can find something that stabilizes in this. The maxi mag I was shooting earlier was a 40 grain. This is a 45 grain. Maybe I'll have to go to a lower weight for it to stabilize in this short of a barrel. All right, we're going to do a double action, single action, same thing, this time from 5 yards. Again, a little bit high, a little bit further to the left. Single action. A little high, not quite as far to the left. I guess with this long double action trigger, I'm pulling it. Again, obvious sideways bullet. And that one did go straight through, but these other three have not. We're going to go back to 7 yards this time. And see what we can do. So both of those stabilized, but they were both very high. Really makes you wonder. I was really hoping this would be more accurate than that. I'm generally a better shot than that, so part of it might be me, but I think the other part is the gun. Let's go ahead, since these two went straight in, I should have two more. We'll go back to the 7-yard line, and I'll do a partial bead aiming at bullseye. We'll see if they stabilize again, because they obviously stabilized here. They're obviously unstable here. So let's see what happens at 7 yards again with the FTXs. Again, I'm going to do a partial bead this time to see if I can get that height down to where it needs to be. Pretty close, a little low. Those weren't too bad. And it looked like they stabilized. Okay, so here and here. So those are stabilizing the further out I get. They're just tumbling up close. That's really disappointing. I was really hoping this thing would have a little bit better accuracy and not be keyholing bullets. Now, that could be because it doesn't like a 45 grain. I might need to go to a 30 grain or something like that. Unfortunately, all I've got with me today is 40 grain and the 45. It looked like on the 40 grain that one of those had keyed hold, but I wasn't for sure. But these are obvious. These three right here are obvious keyholes. Yeah, so I was really hoping for more out of this little guy. I'm gonna have to find an ammo that it likes. Now, playing devil's advocate here. Self-defense, this is all reasonable for self-defense. My furthest spread from bullet to bullet is all still within your thoracic cavity. You could load it up and just dump the mag cylinder, I guess, into somebody. We can do that. Just see if we can just boom, 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 and keep them all there. Let's do that. We'll do a cylinder dump to see if it's still something that could be used in a self-defense, situation. But honestly, right now, I'm not feeling it too well with the lack of the lack of bullet stabilization. So we'll load up real quick with the Maxi Mag 40 grain. We'll just do a cylinder dump, and then we'll go back and do final thoughts on the 942 ultralight. Okay, so here we are. We got the gun loaded up again with the CCI Maxi Mag 40 grain. Just going to try to do a cylinder dump. With how heavy this trigger is, it's probably not going to be real fast, but I figured I would do something kind of fun. Yeah, so here we go. 22 Magnum, 8-shot, Maxi Mag, cylinder dump. I yanked a couple of low. They were all still within the chest cavity. One of these days I'll get a piece of steel and then you guys can just hear the ping like all the cool guys, and they won't worry about accuracy or show you where they miss. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and number 8 somewhere. I don't know. I think here. Anyway, so combat effective? Yes. Target gun? No. Hornady FTXs up close? No. Hornady FTX from a distance? Not bad. So let's bring you back to the tailgate and we'll have our kind of final thoughts on this guy. Okay, so a little disappointed in the accuracy and the bullet stabilization out of this little guy. I was expecting better. I mean, I'm just going to be honest, I was expecting better. I know it's a short barrel, but I can shoot at least well enough to stay, you know, close to the bullseye. Even if I was yanking them some, I might yank a little bit. I might yank an inch or two, but I'm not going to yank that far. I'm also, nothing I do on my end can cause a bullet to hit the paper sideways. It was doing that with those FTXs, 100% up close. 3 to 5 yards, they were slamming sideways. So that tells me that that's definitely not a good idea for a self-defense round for this gun. Now, each one of these may be different. If you buy one, yours might be, but you saw mine. I don't sugarcoat it. I'm not paid by anybody. You're getting my honest review on a gun that I spent my money on. It's keyholing heavier bullets. I need to buy some lighter weight bullets and try it. The 40 grain varmint CCI Maxi Mag did better than the Hornady. The Hornady was more expensive, so you know, I'll save money there. I was expecting better accuracy, and I know I can shoot more accurately than I was with this gun. Do I need more time with the gun to get a little bit better? Yes, but I shouldn't be having to close up a max spread that's over, you know, 6 inches long. I'm usually, you know, let's clean up 2 or 3 inches at most, not a 6 to 8 inch spread. I still kind of like the gun. I still want to give the gun a chance to find what runs well in it. I'm not ready to throw it out, not ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater yet, but I will admit I am disappointed on this outing. Again, the accuracy was subpar for me. The keyholing really sucks. I'll have to get some lighter weight bullets and try and see if maybe some 30 grains or, you know, something like that works really well in this. Philosophy of use. As of right now, my philosophy of use on this would be would probably be like a tackle box gun. It would be something that you'd throw in the center console of your truck to kill a snake. It's not, I mean, 22 Magnum's already really low on the use for personal defense. It can be done, don't get me wrong. There's probably been more people and more animals killed with 22 than with anything else. But as of right now, no for me. No for me on self-defense. Even though I was able to keep it within the thoracic cavity, even though I don't want to be shot with the 22 mag, even if it's here and then here. I mean, I don't want that. But I don't trust this yet. And I know I say that on some guns about how, you know, you need to get, you know, more rounds in it. But I don't trust this gun for accuracy yet. I would not feel safe pulling this out unless I was right up against somebody. Let me show you, it is empty. Unless I was right up against somebody, I would not feel safe pulling this gun and using it in a self-defense scenario, even though I believe 22 mag can be used in that role. A backup gun, it's kind of too heavy for a backup gun. Yes, it is lighter than the other Tauruses, But again, for a backup gun, you could spend twice the price that this was, plus $100, right around $700, $800, and you could get the Smith & Wesson 351C or the 351 PD, which are both going to be lighter than this. The C is hammerless. The PD has a hammer. Both of those are in the $700 to $800 price range. This was $330. Even so, at $330, I expect a gun to not keyhole. I was disappointed by that. I really was. My Taurus that I had in 357 did great. That 651 Toro, or no, sorry, 605 Toro, I did a review on it. It's a great little revolver. This one, man, I don't know. Snake gun, varmint gun in your yard. I mean, it's going to hit close enough to take care of a raccoon. It's going to hit close enough to take care of a possum or an armadillo. And 22 mags more than enough to kill those. So yeah, it would work in that. It would definitely work as a bedside varmint gun. 100%, I would feel safe for that use. I don't think you're going to be far enough off. Even if you keyhole on an armadillo, you're still going to kill the armadillo. Even if it keyholes on a raccoon, it's going to kill the raccoon. I just would not feel safe and cannot recommend this as a backup gun, a carry gun, or a general self-defense gun. A hiking gun, there's lighter ones. Backup guns, there's lighter ones. I would really want to try some other bullets and see if I can get it to get rid of that keyhole. That keyhole is a big thing to me. I mean, it's a big issue to me. Anyway, so there you have it. A truly unbiased and honest review of the Taurus 942M UL, the 942 22 Magnum Ultralight. My sample size of 1, keyholes on heavier bullets, and isn't super accurate. Point of aim, point of impact is off at distance with the front sight. I hit way high with it. Varmint gun, yes. Tackle box gun, yes. A gun to throw in the console of your truck, yes. I would say I really wouldn't even recommend this for like a grandma gun. The trigger is so heavy. I would worry about some grandmas being able to pull that trigger. So right now, very limited uses I would recommend this for. I'm not ready to give up on it yet though. So that's where I set on it right now. Not a recommendation for anything other than a yard varmint gun or a toolbox gun or a tackle box gun, something to that effect, until I can figure out either A, make it quick keyholing, find an ammo that shoots with it, change the front sight, something to make it hit more point of aim, point of impact, because from 3 yards to 5 yards shouldn't be that much change in elevation. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this first look, first shots, first thoughts at the Taurus 942M UL. Buy it at your own discretion as of right now. Not even recommending to buy. I will do a follow-up when I find some ammo that works with this, because I'm not ready to give up on a 22 Magnum snub nose yet. But I'm not real impressed with this one either. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share. Let me know if you've got one of these, what your thoughts on are. How is your accuracy? Have you had any issues with one? As always, thank you guys. We'll see you next time.